Man, this shit very demonic. This whole industry, this whole system, all this shit demonic. All this shit ran off of money. All this shit do not mean nothing. It's very demonic. This whole music industry is very demonic. As I saw the crosses in the Jesus piece, I just grabbed it. It really don't mean nothing. And as I say, this shit demonic. I'm very demonic. Man, there's a lot of devils that's coming in and out my door.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be looking into what happened with Theo Huxtable. I would just say his name, but most people probably just correlate that. And RIP to him, number one. Number two, we're going to get into that and just some other little stuff. I wouldn't say it's like theme based, even though we're starting off with him. But I'm not going to hold you because it's a long video. And I'm not going to yap. So without any further ado, we'll get whatever you need to chill with me. And let's get to the content. Let's go.
What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, try to smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
That was a beautiful video, considering that was his last video. And I will say this, he did look like he had, like, his eyes were kind of like full, like with tears. But yeah, wow.
People got possessed in the middle of a concert and they didn't even know it. Nobody understood why there was an upside-down cross placed in the center of the stage. The rapper was even using voices that sounded strangely demonic. That day, several women actually left the concert because they felt like something wasn't right.
I don't know if y'all hear that mess behind me that I'm leaving. Something is not right with that. Jesus, in Jesus' name. I'm walking up and down through this whole live concert, praying, clutching my pearls because that sounds like some mess.
Something is clearly off in America right now. Has the music industry in the US gone completely insane, or worse, gone dark? At the Weeknd concert, the forbidden word even appeared quietly on a giant screen. According to some videos, fans looked like they were possessed afterward. During another show by one of today's newer artists, there was clear evidence that fans were no longer acting normally, but were they really possessed by the music, or was something else behind it? Several people claimed that frightening, unfamiliar voices were coming out of the artist's mouth. That's not normal to do in the middle of a live show. This kind of thing has been happening more and more in recent years, and it's getting serious. Be careful if you're planning to go to one of these concerts anytime soon.
What the hell? The Weeknd was out of line for that tongue thing. That was disgusting. This is why I don't attend concerts in person. Like, I just don't. The vibe just be weird.
And I remember when God mentioned Malcolm Jamal Warner, I just had this little, thing like, oh Lord, I've never heard about that man in Scandal. Never seen that man cutting up or doing anything. It was just a thought I had. And the Lord said to me, Celestial, people don't only when they do wrong. Sometimes they, because that's their time. And I thought, oh, okay, Lord, you're right. Oh, Dame Dash. I think this man is a producer. I'm not sure if he's a rapper, but he was linked to Aaliyah back in the day. And there seems to be incredible bad blood between him and Jay-Z. They used to be friends and now they're not friends. And who knows why. And God says this man will pass away. And this man is young. So when he loses his life, please don't come and say we all. That thing is so ignorant. And God again speaks.
So our next video is rather long. There were a few inconsistencies. Y'all know I be having my notes. So I went ahead and I did watch this video prior to filming so that I can do my own homework and my own research that we'll go over after this video. So let's go.
Welcome to another episode of Deception Decode, and today we will be discussing Malcolm Jamal Warner. Malcolm Jamal Warner was born on August 18th, 1970, and he recently died on Sunday, July 20th. So, a couple things that I found very interesting. The Cosby Show is 54 in the reverse reduction cipher, as well as the reduction cipher, and Bill Cosby is 54 in the reverse reduction cipher. You know, I don't even really like to get into the whole gematria, but it was just called to my spirit, and I did find some interesting names. So like I said, Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show both equal 54 in the reverse reduction cipher. And as we know, Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 when he passed. So like I'm saying, this is just for entertainment purposes only. You know, don't take anything, you know, any of this, you know, serious, but it's just something for you to think about. So allegedly they're saying that he died of asphyxia or by drowning. Drowning equals 30 in the reduction cipher and 83 in the ordinal cipher, and we know that 38 is our murder number. He was also swimming at Playa Grande, D. Cochelles, and Limon, and that happens to have a cipher of 121, or I'm sorry, it equals 121 in the reduction cipher, and 121 is our number for blood sacrifice. So once again, I'm not saying that he was sacrificed, but the numbers are very interesting and they do appear to tell a story. So we know that he was on an NBC sitcom, and we know that he was in Costa Rica. NBC sitcom equals 35 in the reduction cipher and 154 in the reverse cipher, and so does Costa Rica. So do with that information what you will. So the conclusion that my fellow conspiracy theorists may come up with is that what did Bill do to his firstborn son, Theo Huxtable? But not so fast. Was it really Bill? Everybody knows that the second most popular show that Malcolm Jamal Warner was on was a little show that ran from 1996 to 2000. That show was known as Malcolm and Ed. Malcolm Jamal Warner was born in July and he died in August. Theo Huxtable equals 78 in the reverse reduction cipher, July, August. Sunday, the day that he died, is 78 in the reverse cipher. Costa Rican Red Cross also equals 78. That's the people that was called, you know, once he drowned. That was the authorities, the Costa Rican Red Cross. And they also equal 78 in the reduction cipher. Interestingly enough, do you know who else equals 78 in the reduction cipher? You guessed it, Eddie Griffin. In conclusion, the craziest thing I found looking into the numbers in the Malcolm Jamal Warner drowning is that from the day that Malcolm Jamal Warner died up until Eddie Griffin's next birthday, which is, I believe, July 15th, which will be next year, is 360 days. 3-6 blood sacrifice, as my conspiracy theorists know. Until we meet again.
So y'all, first I want to say I apologize that the video was jumping like that. His TikTok, I can't help it. I can control it. But I will go through my findings, and then right here I'll have it popping up as well. So bear with me, you guys, because I gotta pull up all my stuff. So, and I'll probably chop out the empty spaces. So number one, he definitely died on July 20th, 2025, per right here. His cause of death. Well, let's do this. Let's start where he started at. Let's start with Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is definitely 54 in the reverse. So where you see reverse reduction cipher, is 54. And then when you pull up the Cosby Show, it is also 54 in the reverse reduction cipher. And when you pull up Theo Huxtable Google search, which it kind of just lets you know that he died at 54 in Costa Rica by drowning. And that's where he died at. Playa Grande de, wait, y'all, Playa Grande de Cochelles in Limon in Costa Rica. And we're going to go ahead and look at the gematria. Is that where we was going next? So wait, yes, Cosby Show and Bill Cosby equals 54 in the gematria cipher. And he was 54 when he died. So that did add up. However, I want to say this first before I go into drowning. Murder is definitely 38 in the reverse cipher. And there was a movie called Murder by Numbers with Sandra Bullock. And if you look at the cover of Murder by Numbers, you'll see that it has 38 in it. So 38 is definitely the number for murder. However, drowning, when I did my search, I'm looking at my other screens, y'all. So that's what I'm doing. Drowning definitely does not add up to 38. But what I'm thinking he did, because I went ahead and did some more research, is drowning without the NG does equal 38 in the reduction and 83 in the ordinal. He just didn't put the NG in it. So that's null and void to me, in my opinion. But murder does equal 38. So we're going to go ahead and look at where he died at. Which I told you guys is Playa Grande del Cochelles in Limon. So the gematria for that is 121 in the reduction. And 121 is definitely the number for blood sacrifice. So blood sacrifice is 121 in the ordinal. And you'll see I went ahead and pulled all of the different ciphers that I look at when I do look up gematria to kind of show you what all of the numbers would say. So we did that. We looked at blood sacrifice and where he died at. Oh, let me go back for 1 second, and I want to let you guys know the all of gematria ciphers. So these are all of the gematria ciphers, and the 4 that's checked is what is considered the. My bad, y'all, because I moved my screen that I'm filming on so I can see my other screen, but it's technically considered the standard, the normal ciphers in which you would go ahead and look up, without having to go through the other ones. So I want to show you guys that. Now, let's go and look at the next thing, which is NBC sitcom and Costa Rica gematria. So NBC sitcom gematria is definitely 35 in the reduction, but in the reverse is 145. So he stated that Costa Rica was 35 and 154. So let's go ahead and look up Costa Rica. Costa Rica, my bad. Costa Rica gematria. Nevertheless, Costa Rica is 35 and 154. But NBC sitcom is 35 and 145. So it's the flip. You know what I mean? But, we'll just go ahead and let that one roll. So we're going to go to the Malcolm and Eddie show. Before we do that, where he needed to switch something again is he was born in August and died in July and not vice versa. That's probably was a, yeah, I bet y'all. That probably was just an error. Theo Huxtable, I did not get 78 in the reverse. What I got for Theo, I had all this stuff like boom, 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 boom. And now I can't. Oh, here we go. Not bad. So Theo Huxtable here, and I went ahead and pulled all of the ciphers for this one too, just to make sure that I wasn't missing anything, or maybe he had misspoke the ciphers, what cipher he got that from, but it was not there. However, Sunday does equal 78. And Y'all, I swear I had all my stuff just like right here. Nevertheless, Sunday equals 78. And the Costa Rica Red Cross. This is ridiculous, y'all. I swear I had all this right up here. So hold on. Okay. So Sunday equals 78 in the reverse ordinal, as you can see right here. And the Costa Rica Red Cross equals 78 in the reduction. So that one was spot on. And then let's look at Eddie Griffin is 78 in the reduction. Interesting to see 66, but my shoe got caught in the wire. But it is 78 in the reduction. As for his death date and the time frame between his death date and Eddie Griffin's birthday is, let me see, where's my, y'all, I swear. Okay. So here is both Eddie Griffin and Theo's date of births. So my bad. Theo's death date. Okay. My bad, y'all. So here is Theo's death date, and here is Eddie Griffin's birthday. So the time frame between when Theo died and Eddie Griffin's next birthday, which would be in 2026, is 360 days. Zeros is always canceled out into gematria because they have no numerical value. So yeah, like I said, the zeros cancel in gematria. Blood sacrifice does not equal 36. Just won't put that out there. Here that goes again. But Bill Cosby does. So I don't know. The numbers be adding up, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes from here. But let's keep going, y'all.
Old soul, bitch, I probably built them pyramids. Ducking strays when I rap battled in the Nickersons. Where you from?
Look like a pyramid to me.
Actor Malcolm Warren, who's most notably known from The Cosby Show, who played Theo, has ultimately passed away, y'all, at the age of 54. Damn, y'all, that's sad, fool. Life just throw curveballs at you unexpectedly. Now, per reports, I'm hearing he passed away from an accidental drowning, y'all. I don't know too much information, but that's all they're saying at this moment. If y'all want to stay updated, all you got to do is hit that follow button. But like I said, that's a sad, sad situation. I never want to go like that, y'all. And I wouldn't want nobody to experience drowning. And that's why I want everybody to learn how to swim. With all these floods going around, nobody ever know what situation you might be in. So y'all, go take swimming lessons, y'all. Now, I don't know if he knew how to swim or if he didn't know how to swim. I'm just saying in general, if you don't, now is a good time to learn how to swim. R.I.P. And I'm sending my condolences to everybody who was affected by this tragic passing.
Well, I agree. Everybody should learn how to swim. And once again, RIP to him.
You live in a fantasy, if you can understand that. Bob Marley said something interesting. He said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. Stop here. These groups, are not above nature, the universe, and God.
Natural disasters prove that every time.
Every day. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. This is a propaganda and perception game. These groups, they are designed to deceive. There's no truth in them. None of them is above nature. None of them. So as long as you know nature, God, The universe, or should I say this? God, universe, nature. That's your gun. G-U-N. God, universe, nature. Remember that gun. I'm putting a weapon in your hand. God, universe, nature. That's the gun you fight back.
Wow.
Strange facts that just don't make sense. Which makes you think we live in a matrix.
Fact, this is from season 26. Fact, this is episode 10. Fact, this premiered on January 4th, 2015. 2015. Fact, this is Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot. Fact, they are the CEO and head of HR of a tech company caught in an affair at the Coldplay concert.
You know, one time it's a coincidence, or 2 times it's a coincidence, or 3 times, or 4 times, or 20 times, or 50 times, or 100 times. Simpsons keep on, I don't want to say predicting, you know what I mean? How about we start saying the Simpsons are projecting our reality? Because they're not predicting it. I believe they're projecting it. There's the only one that makes sense. How the fuck in 2015 did they show this and then this happens? I mean, it's just not this, man. It's just the many things. You know, Trump coming down the escalator, him with his hands on the ball for the Abrahamic Accord. A lot of things, man, that the Simpsons come out and project, tell the vision. What if these Black Mirrors and the Simpsons is our storyteller? I'm just saying, make it make sense.
I mean, the Simpsons always predicting stuff, so I'm not surprised. Are you?
Social media is not reality. One video clip devoid of context can be very misleading. Given that McNeil never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone camera footage that he had in his possession since March 5th out on social media, one can only assume, and I'm saying I assume, that he intended to inflame the public. The administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeil Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeil was arrested and pled guilty to resisting a police officer without violence. Force absolutely looks ugly. And because all force is ugly, whether or not the officer involved acted within outside JSO policy, that's still what we're investigating.
First of all, no. Bullshit. Jacksonville, what's up? I can't even say Jacksonville because this happens all over, but they would use him to come out as a spokesperson to say that. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
Hold on. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Do you know what this is? You have no idea. Comment below if you think you know what this is. But I'm telling you, it's so unbelievable that they don't even have to hide it. Don't cheat. 3, 2, 1. This is Halal Ben Shahab. Some of y'all are like, so what? Who's that? That's Lucifer. But that's not the unbelievable part. This statue is symbolically showing that Lucifer came to earth as a historical king that we can point to, a Babylonian king. You see, that's what this is alluding to. We're going to have to break this down. Make sure you favorite and follow. So the philosophy of order reveals what a spirit is. A spirit is a collection of attributes, the essence of something. Every spirit has a matrix, a medium or structure in which they develop. The matrix comes from mature, and mature means womb. This is deep. I'm going to try not to lose y'all, but it's deep. As long as you have the matrix of a spirit, it will keep reoccurring. That's why you can't really die. As long as the metaphysical matrix that created you exists, and you'll come back into being, just in different versions of you. Who is Atar? Atar is an ancient Canaanite god. He was called the son of the dawn, the morning star. He tried to sit on a deity's throne, but he was literally too small for it, and he was kicked from heaven. Sound familiar? A myth is not meant to be true, at least not historically. It's meant to tell you about the spirit in question. Follow me. Romance movies are not meant to be historically correct. They're meant to teach you about the spirit of love because you can't point to it physically. What are the collection of attributes the spirit of Atar? Celestial ambition, illegitimate ascent, humiliating fall, association with Venus or the morning star. The first time you hear of Lucifer is in the Hebrew Bible, Isaiah. He calls him Hillel ben Shahar, which is later translated as Lucifer because it means shining one. Atar and Lucifer have the same exact attribute. They're the same exact spirit with the same story. Spirits manifest on earth as physical entities when something has the highest manifestation of those collection of attributes. This was a king named Sargon II. He seized power in Babylon to an illegitimate throne. Then Sargon claimed divine status, and he was known to wear a bunch of jewelry, to be beautiful, to shine, but he could not properly run the kingdom. He ended up dying in war shamefully, and they could not recover the body. Still don't believe me? Well, scholars agree that when Isaiah was talking about Lucifer, he was talking about the king of Babylon, Sargon II. Scholars think that means Lucifer doesn't exist. No, that's the manifestation of him on earth. Some of you might be wondering, how did my church not teach me that Lucifer actually walked on the earth as a man? In that the Bible said that when he talked about Lucifer. That's because you and the people in your church are under the Bible. Spells are real. Spell comes from the Old English word S-P-E-L, where gospel comes from. It actually means story. So if I put you under my story, if I plant a story in your subconscious mind, I've put you under a spell, whether it's good or bad. You all believe that the Bible is univocal and all the authors agreed. This keeps you from understanding the true history of Yahweh, Lucifer, and other deities and entities in the Bible. There's a free audiobook that tells the truth about Yahweh. Read the description below to learn more. I love you all. Peace.
That was deep. That was deep.
So I keep discovering stuff in this particular Bible. This is an 11.5 pound 1800s Bible. Not only is there a crazy section with a dictionary in it, lots of illustrations. There's coins of the ancient worlds. There's a whole section on false gods or the worship of idols. Incidences of sacred stories or great deeds of Bible heroes. Super fun. You know who that is. Look at these. Look at this artwork. Anyways, a whole section on the tabernacle. There's a couple maps. Talks about the travels of our Lord. Very, very interesting artwork. This is the Witch of Endor. Calling up Samuel. Look at Saul. What's really neat is when you get to the New Testament, right? This is the King James 1881 down the center here. And then on the sides is the 1611. So you can see what they changed and you can read the two together. A history of all religions. And I mean, it's all religions. Stuff I've never even heard of running down and running through. There's Christians, Harmonians, all kinds of stuff in here. There's the biographies of the writers. And here it talks about the 5 different Marys. There's the other 2. Man, how'd you like to go in history as Herod the Infant Slayer? There's the Apocrypha in it with the Song of the Holy Three. This is what Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego sang in the fire, where they talk about the waters above heaven. This is what I noticed today that really got my attention, because I used to do a lot of studies in the reference columns. You can reference stuff all over. This is the book of Job. But look, right up here, it says before Christ, 1520. Okay? This is the book of Kings, 975 years before Christ. Leviticus, 1,490 years before Christ. So I wanted to see where we're at in Genesis. 4,004 years before Christ. And it stays that year for a couple chapters. Here's chapter 2 and chapter 3, 4,004 years before Christ. And time begins when they get kicked out. All of a sudden, it goes to 3,876. So we got the Gospel of St. Matthew, and look, because Christ is here, there's no more time. It stops that time. So when Jesus rides into Jerusalem, what year is it? 33. I can't say that correctly. I apologize. Jesus was 33 coming in. And it's like that in each gospel. It kind of gives you the age and the time they were going through and walking, and he was saying and doing things. Here's what's crazy, is when Paul wrote to Romans, it was 60 years since Jesus was born. When Paul wrote to the Colossians, 64. And the book of Revelation, 96 years after the birth of Christ, Revelation was written. So we will be doing a lot more studies and in-depth studies into this Bible and the stuff that it says over on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. TikTok, Twitch. Guys, have a great day. Go do what's right, not what's easy.
That was very interesting. I'm sure that book is going for a nice, pretty penny. But I think I'm going to add some more of his findings from out that book in some other of my videos as we go further. But that was interesting. I liked it.
Hey y'all, so Florida is on fire, literally. So they just put out a heat advisory warning, y'all. And I'm talking about heat index numbers pushing 110 to 112 in major cities like Orlando, Jacksonville, Gainesville, and also South Florida as well too. Basically, the whole Florida is experiencing an intense heat wave. So this is what it's going to look like by 10 a.m. throughout the whole state of Florida, y'all. Do y'all see that? It's in the triple digits. It's not even purple, y'all. It's hot pink. It is hot pink. And even by sunset, it is still in the triple digits, y'all. Do you guys see what's going on here? They're basically telling people to stay inside, not to go outside.
Temperatures feel a lot more like 112 in some spots.
And that's leading to this heat advisory.
That's exactly right. So our heat advisory will go in effect at 11 o'clock this morning and go until 7 o'clock this evening for much of Central Florida. Some of our metro locations, that heat advisory will go until 6 o'clock. Look how quickly we feel like the triple digits. By 10 o'clock in the morning, almost every single Central Florida location feeling a lot more like the triple digits. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it feels a lot more like 107 to 109. And then going into the 3, 4, 5 o'clock hours, still feeling like the triple digits, and at times feeling like 112. So it's a very hot day ahead, but good news is cooler air is on the way for tomorrow. Temperatures drop.
Y'all notice how they put the parentheses around the word cooler? Why do you think that is? It's like her saying cooler air comes tomorrow and air quotes, but we already know tomorrow never comes because by the time it comes, it's today. It's the same day. So are they saying that there's not going to be cooler air? But nonetheless, y'all see that Mother Earth is cooking. If you cannot take that heat, then stay out of the kitchen. But let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. The shift is here. Y'all feel it. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I'll say this. Florida is hot as shit. And I'll never forget my first time walking on the sand in the summer in Florida. And I felt like I was walking on hot coal. I kid you not. I was miserable. And then I'm going to be honest with you, going to Disney World and Universal Studios, anything like that in the summertime is ridiculous. The next time I go again, I'll go from November to March. That's it. That's all. But I'm going to go again because I need to do some videos in regards to Epic Universe because, the occulticness is occulting. And I need to go and, shine a light on Harry Potter and then Disney. And then there's a restaurant in Disney Springs that I need to go to that has some very interesting artwork. So I'll be taking a trip. I'm not sure when, but I will be planning a trip back there. And despite the occulticness, I'm a thrill seeker. So I love theme parks and I am going to ride the craziest rides. And here's some funny tea on me. I love roller coasters. I don't really do the dungeon drop type things because I don't really like steel heights and sitting up there. That's why I don't do water rides, but I don't do the Ferris wheel, stuff like that. But so you would think that a person with height fear wouldn't do roller coasters, but I love it. I love it. I love it. It's my thing. It's my thing. Want to get in good with me? Take me to a theme park.
Music came from the demonic realm,
Okay?
Music came from the demonic.
The devil was one of the chief culprits of that.
What?
Satan himself. And you mentioned, see, even Muslims use the word Satan. It comes from the word shaitan.
All right, we're going to come back to Aleister Crowley. What do you mean the devil created music? I fucking love music.
He brought music on the earth.
But it's a beautiful thing.
It doesn't mean it's all bad either, but I got to explain to you. So this is what I was trying to get to an hour ago, and we keep going off tangents. I hope the audience can keep up, and
I hope they can too. But they don't. You're like a freight train, bro. Gotta let you roll.
There's so many moving pieces. This is a very broad topic with a lot of very important things.
Yep.
To kind of gather it all back in. When God created Adam, before he even created him, the devil, Satan as he's known, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, the enemy of humanity. Okay. This species lived on Earth long before humanity. Okay. Before the first human being ever existed, before ancient Sumeria, before any of this stuff, Billy Carson, God had other creations on this earth. But now what's interesting to me is that from the Abrahamic perspectives, like, why was it always the earth being used as like this kind of like testing ground? There's so many other planets, right? Why? For some reason, he created that species. They were on here before us, long before us. The demonic realm. Now, remember, English does not serve the description of what these beings are. It doesn't translate well into English. Because we think demon, they're only evil. That's it.
Yeah.
Christianity tries to make up for describing them by saying, no, they're not all evil. They're fallen angels. But that's inaccurate. And I'll tell you why I think it's inaccurate. So I explained earlier, angels are creations of light that have no free will. Even those two angels, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. God made them go and test people if they want to learn black magic. They didn't say, hey, God, I'm going down to earth and I'm going to. No, he said, okay, you want to see how human beings are? Go down there, test them. They didn't get to do it on their own initiative. They made the choice that he allowed them to make. But there was no free will for them. They can only do what God commands them to do. The demonic realm was created from a smokeless fire. Some of the scholars think maybe some type of electrical current. We don't really know. We know that they're made from a smokeless flame, and we know human beings, based on the Abrahamic faith, were created from all the different soils of the earth.
How do we know they're made from a smokeless
sand,
flame? No,
dark earth,
not that.
But look at the races.
The demonic realm.
Look at their skin colors.
Hold on, back up.
They literally look like the colors of the earth.
Back up. If you're not going to wear the headphones, if I gotta stop you for something, you gotta take my cues there. All right. How do we know that thing about? I don't even remember what you said now. The demonic realm. What is it? It came from smoke and fires. How do we know that?
Smokeless flames.
Smokeless flames. How do we know that?
This is the description, at least in the Islamic tradition, of that species. We know a lot about them from the Christian and Judaic tradition. A lot of that overlaps also, but a lot of this was also given to the Prophet Muhammad. Also, more intense descriptions of what these beings actually are. What I believe is going on right now is nothing more than a new age movement of the new age to convince humanity they were created by aliens and not God. Their only goal is to lead us astray. Period.
He never, I'm gonna have to find the clip of him explaining why, he came to, why they came to the conclusion that they were made out of smokeless flames or whatever the hell he said. But interesting perspective though. Well, that's pretty nerve-wracking. But let's go and keep going.
Y'all, I'm a little shook. Remember how the United States recently had 2 major solar eclipses in 2017 and in 2024, and they made an X?
across the US. Do y'all remember where the X was? I saw this originally on another creator's page, and I'm going to tag him below. But I would like to further elaborate on this, because as you can see, the eclipses crossed over San Antonio, pretty much exactly where this horrific, devastating flood just hit. But there was another X over the US too. Not just one, it crisscrossed twice. And this one, y'all, it technically lands in Illinois, but it's pretty much sitting on the New Madrid. It's sitting on the New Madrid. And as soon as he pointed out that this crossing point was right over where the flood is, I kind of wanted to throw up, okay? Because this goes directly in line with solar eclipse lore. Because I don't know if y'all know it, because I don't talk about it often, but I am actually fluent in astrology. And I'm not being funny, I really am. But historically speaking, eclipses have always been a warning from the heavens, an omen of change, an ill omen 99% of the time. There's actually been solar eclipses that have preceded wars and plagues and famines and natural disasters. The rise and fall of empires. It's a thing. It's a real thing. While I was mesmerized and amazed by the solar eclipse and so happy I got to see it with my own eyeballs, it was like a once-in-a-life experience. I also knew in that moment that we were likely in trouble if we could see it directly overhead. Because that's really where most of the oomph of anything celestial, any major celestial event, if you can see it with your eyeballs, it's got more strength for you, versus places where it's still happening, but they can't see it. Anyways, what I'm getting at is that if this spot just popped off, this cross of the eclipses just activated, then this one is next. And that's us. That's us, and I don't like that. But I've talked about this before. I have a huge fear of the New Madrid fault line. The earthquakes were so bad, like beyond comprehension. A literal nightmare. The ground became basically liquid. There was lightning from giant cracks in the ground. People fell into giant cracks in the ground. People were holding on to logs laid certain ways so that they wouldn't fall into the giant cracks that kept opening up in the ground. The ground moved like a rug for months, like a thrown rug, and it ripples. That's what the ground was doing. Church bells rang in Boston. And luckily, in 1811, or whatever year that happened, it was something around there wasn't giant cities with skyscrapers and stuff then. It would level. It would level it. And, fun fact, when the New Madrid fault line went off last time, when we had the giant New Madrid earthquakes, it was also preceded by solar eclipses. It was actually preceded by a giant X of solar eclipses, just like this. The flood in Texas is so devastating that I can't even really keep watching it. It makes me so upset and so scared. I was actually caught in the 2019 flood in Arkansas, and that was bad, and it was nothing compared to what Texas is going through right now. And San Antonio is actually where my husband is from. And the idea that it could have been solar eclipse triggered, that freaks me out, because it's right in line with what solar eclipses have always meant. And for it to crisscross twice over the US means that the United States as a whole is in a period of intense change and upheaval, which, we can tell. Y'all keep Texas in your prayers.
Yeah, not shout out, but prayers to the people in Texas that had, endured the flood. And yeah, creepy, huh?
The Weeknd was never meant to be famous. The theory, his rise wasn't a launch, it was a breach. Let me explain the Velvet Outlier. See, the music industry loves a blueprint. Marketable, visible, controlled. In 2011, pop was dominated by flashy visuals and PR-polished personas. Then came House of Balloons. No face, no interviews, no label, just haunting sound. Some say it wasn't just mysterious, it was unauthorized. According to the theory, Abel Tesfay's early uploads bypassed industry channels entirely. His SoundCloud drops, untraceable. His image, non-existent. And yet, the biggest names started whispering his name. Drake, Diddy, even the fashion world caught on. But here's the twist. The theory claims The Weeknd was never supposed to get past the underground. The sound was too dark. The brand too elusive. He didn't play the fame game. So what changed? Fans did. They spread his music like gospel. No face, just feeling. Executives tried to package him, tame the aesthetic, guide the rollout. But he stayed rogue, singing about drugs, emptiness, and fame's decay while achieving all three. This is what the Velvet Outlier refers to, a soft, slow disruption, and so atmospheric the system didn't detect it until it was too late. So ask yourself, was The Weeknd's rise a quiet design or a silent rebellion hiding in plain sight?
What do you guys think? I actually, I won't say used to like The Weeknd because I still will listen to some of The Weeknd songs. So you guys tell me what y'all think.
So now Alaska just got hit by a 7.3 earthquake, and now they potentially having a tsunami warning? In Alaska. Now, this geo activity is not just happening in Alaska, it's happening all over the world. This geo activity has awakened volcanoes all over the U.S., from Hawaii, Alaska, and now they said 1,000-foot tall megaquake could hit the U.S. This was all the way back in May. From Alaska, Hawaii, and the West Coast. What just happened today? Oh yeah, that was Alaska. And let's not forget, on the other side of the world, Japan did get hit with 1,000 earthquake that erupted volcanoes. And Guatemala also got hit by a crazy earthquake. Once again, Matthew 24. There will be wars and rumors of wars. You see, nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. What's happening in the Middle East right now? There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All of these are the beginning of birth pain. This right now is showing y'all need to get y'all life right with Jesus. I don't care what y'all believe in. The Most High is going to come back. And this prophecy has been fulfilled right before our eyes. This not to spread no fear. This just to show y'all to be vigilant. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on what y'all think about all of these crazy earthquakes happening all over the world in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned. You comment down below, Hub, if y'all want the resources to get paid from y'all content.
What up, everybody? It's Angel Dust. I am responding to yesterday's post about bribery and our newfound ability to do it thanks to the new Supreme Court ruling, because you guys completely missed the point. You're crying about pink slime and me cleaning it with ammonia, and you're not talking about the real shit, which is that I can legally bribe government officials now. We've been cleaning meat with ammonia for 25 years. What about all the other things that are going to come up to the Supreme Court? Third term for the president? It's possible. I mean, look it up. These guys are Bohemian Grove members. Look up the Black Supreme Court Justice and Bohemian Grove. I can't say his name, but do that. You're talking about pink slime when you should be talking about your Supreme Court, which, you know, let's be honest. The popular vote was for the current president last time. This Supreme Court was installed by that president. So you're getting what you asked for, yet you're crying about it, and you're trying to make me the villain. We're exploiting the rulings and subsequently capitalism. Do you see the irony? Welcome to capitalism. If you don't like it, move to Russia, move to China. And I'm trying to tell you the truth about what's happening. I'm the only one that's not, influenced by politics, because we've been buying elections for so long and we've been implanting opposition for so long. I've said this for a really long time. News ain't telling you what's going on. MSNBC ain't telling you what's going on. They're lying to you. Fox News is not telling you what's going on. They're lying to you. Public broadcasting system, which was put there to give you guys regular news, is being defunded. But I'm the bad guy for taking advantage of the system? Fuck you! Peace, blessings, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Love you to pieces, even though you're fucking stupid.
Well, and in that note, we'll go ahead and end it. So guys, we reached the end of this video. This video was very, very, very informative. I hope you guys got a lot out of it and enjoyed it. I enjoyed filming it. I tell you guys this every time, so I'm not going to hold you because this video was long. Next video should be out by next week. So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And until I see you guys again, bye.